divine grace, A.C. Bhakti-yoga, His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada ki Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajakacarya Astottara Sattva Shri Sriman. His divine grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj ki Nitya Lila Vishna Om Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki Nitya Lila Vishna Om Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Nitya Lila Vishna Om Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Tagori Vaishnavrinda ki Amacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Rup Sanatan Bhattaragana Shri Jiva Gopal Bhattas Raghunath Sadhu Swami ki Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gauravandarinda ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopina Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki Yavandam ki Maya Bordam ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki Kangamai ki Purnamai ki Tulsi Devi ki Sri Devi ki Veda Bhaktavinda ki Shri Panchatattva ki Shri Gaura Nitai ki Shri Madan Mohan ki Radha Madan Mohan ki Shri Avirbhav Mahamahotsav Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai Gaura Premanand. Glories to the assembly. Glories to the assembly. All glories to the assembly. Shri Guru and Shri Guru. Do we have prayers and bhajans we can display on the screen?
Yes, which one?
Nava Gauravaram Nava Pushpasaram Nava Hema Yutam Nava Sachi Sutta
Astakam, I think it's called. The only problem is I'll need a copy to be able to read from it. Do you have it on your phone?
We have a songbook.
Okay. Oh, he has one here.
What's the name?
Sachi Sutta Astika. Sri Sachi Sutta Astakam. It's by Bhakti-yoga Bhattacharya. My voice is quite messed up, so I'm going to sound like a combination of a frog trying to climb out of a well.
You always say that, but it's never the case.
Once in a while I don't. I tell the truth. You can't find it on the phone?
It's on the
Yeah,
design.
It's in the songbook.
Telephone.
some issues with internet also. Yeah.
It's a phony phone.
It's an issue
Phones are
with
phony.
connection.
And Sri Sachi Sutta Astakam. You find it in the book? Okay.
Yes.
He has the book here. This is the best here. You see that book is in different compartments, huh? You found it? Let's see, hope it doesn't go off. We have the translation also? Yes. It'll be here, okay. Just stay there because I'm technically debilitated. Nava Ghora Varam Nava Pushpasaram Nava Bhavadaram Nava Lasyaparam Nava Ghora Varam Nava Pushpasaram Nava Bhavadaram Nava Lasyaparam Nava Hasyakaram Nava Hemavaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Bodhavaram Nava Premayutam Nava Nitya Sucham Nava Vesakritam Nava Premarasam Navalasa Sudam Nava Premamayam Pranamami Sachi Sutta Godavaram Hari Bhakti Param Hari Namadaram Satatam janatam bhavatapaharam pamamartaparayana lokagatim. Navaleyakaram gada tapaharam pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram. Nija bhakti karam priya charutaram natanartanam nagara rajakulam. Kamini manasa vasakaram pranamami sati sutta gauravaram. Karathalavaram karatavaram miduladyam sulikaya madhuraram. Nija bhakti guna vita natyakaram pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram. Yugadharmayutam purna nandasutam dharani suchitam bhavam bhavochitam. Dhanya-chitam nija vasayutam pranamami sachitutta gauravaram. Harunam nayanam charanam vasanam vadade savitam swaka namaduram. Kurute surarasana jagat jivan pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram. Dhava ghoravaram nava pushpasaram nava bhavaram nava lashaparam. Dhava hashakaram nava hemavaram pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram. Pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram. Gauravaram sachi sutta pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram pranamami sachi gauravaram. Pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram Panchatattva, 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 Jai, Panchatattva, translation describes some of the characteristics and activities of Lord Chaitanya. His complexion is of the hue of fresh cream tinged with kumkum. He is ever fresh Cupid who shoots arrows of newly blossoming flowers. He bears newer and newer moods of emotional ecstasy. He is fond of performing novel dances. He makes ever new jokes that cause much laughter. His brilliant luster is like freshly cast gold. I bow down to Goda, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He is endowed with the ever-fresh love of Godhead. His radiant luster is like the color of fresh butter. His fresh attire is arranged in ever-new fashions. He relishes ever-new mellows of love for Krishna. He shines in ninefold new ways while executing the ninefold processes of devotional service. He is permeated with a most auspicious, loving nature. I bow down to Goda, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He is absorbed in devotion to Sri Hari. He maintains the chanting of the names of Hari. While chanting, he counts the holy names on the fingers of his hands. He is addicted to the names of Hari. He always has tears of love welling in his eyes. I bow down to Goda, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He is always removing the suffering of material existence for mankind. He is the goal of life for persons who are dedicated to their own supreme interest. He aspires men to become like honeybees, eager for the honey of Krishna Prem. He removes the burning fever of the material world. I bow down to Goda, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He who motivates pure devotional service unto himself, who is most attractive to his beloved servitors, by his dramatic dancing, he exhibits the characteristics of the king of the paramours. He causes the mind of beautiful young village girls to dance. I bow down to Goda, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He plays kartals as his throat emits sweet melodious sounds and the vibrant notes of the veena are softly played. He thus inspires the devotees to perform dramatic dancing that is infused with aspects of his own devotional service. I bow down to Goda, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He is accompanied by the Sankirtan movement, which is the religious practice for the age of Kali. He is the son of Nanda Maharaj come again. He is the extraordinary brilliant ornament of the earth. His preaching mood is suitably adapted for the cycle of birth and death. His consciousness is fixed in meditation on his own form of Krishna. He is always accompanied by this transcendental abode. I bow down to Goda. I bow down to the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. His eyes, the soles of his feet, and his clothing are reddish like the color that heralds the rising sun. As he utters his own names, his voice falters. He awakens a sweet flavor of life throughout the universe. I bow down to Goda, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. So this is by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Okay. Oh yeah, I think I need this, right? Yeah, okay. I get claustrophobia with this thing, but anyway. Okay, so we'll read from one verse from the 5th canto, 18th chapter. The residents of Jambudvipa offer prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So it's in the prose, so we'll do the word for word. Om, O Lord. Namaha, respectful obeisances. Bhagavate, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Matra Tattva Lingaya, who is understood in truth by different mantras. Yagya, in the form of an animal. In the form of animal sacrifices. Kratave, and animal sacrifices. Mahadwara, great sacrifices. Avyayavaya, whose limbs and bodily parts. Mahapurushaya, unto the Supreme Person. Namaha, respectful obeisances. Karma Suklaya, who purifies the fruit of activities of the living entities. Triyugaya, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is filled with 6 opulences and who appears in 3 yugas, remaining concealed in the 4th yuga. Namaha, my respectful obeisances. Te, unto you. Translation. O Lord, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you as the gigantic person. Simply by chanting mantras, we shall be able to understand you fully. You are yagya, sacrifice, and you are the kratu, ritual. Therefore, all of the ritualistic ceremonies of sacrifice are part of your transcendental body, and you are the only enjoyer of all sacrifices. Your form is composed of transcendental goodness. You are known as Tri Yuga because in Kali Yuga you appear as a concealed incarnation, and because you always fully possess the 3 pairs of opulences. Srila Prabhupada's short purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation for the age of Kali, as confirmed in many places throughout the Puranas, the Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Upanishads. The summary of his appearance is given in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 699 as follows. Kali Yuga Lila Avatar Nakara Bhagavan Ateva Tri Yuga Karim Kahitara Nama. In this age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, does not appear as a Lila avatar, an incarnation to display pastimes. Therefore, he is known as Tri Yuga. Unlike other incarnations, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in this age of Kali as a devotee of the Lord. He is therefore called a concealed incarnation's Chana avatar. Om Gyan Timidandasya Gyanajana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya De Satarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Pevacha Petitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Ajanulampita Bujo Kanakamatato Sankirtanai Papitaro Kamalaya Takso Vishwambaro Dvijabaro Yugadharma Falo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karuna Avataro Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sanodido Gorodaya Pushpanbanto Chitta Sando Tamo Nudo Panchatattva Makam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhakta Avatara Bhakta Kyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in every subject matter within the scriptures that center around the personality of Godhead, there are two aspects of that subject matter. One is called tattva and the other one is called lila. Before we can really understand lila correctly, we have to have a working knowledge of tattva. That's why you'll see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when you note how the verses are structured in a systematic way. Before you get to Krishna's pastimes in the 10th canto, the first and second canto gives a very deep and very intricate explanations of the philosophy centered around the identity and the activity of the purpose of the activity of the Supreme Personality of God, and that's called tattva. So that's why it's placed first, because people will misunderstand lila and think lila is like what we do. We hear about the Lord's activities, and they look very similar to the activities of the conditioned souls in the material world. But that's just from the external point of view. There's nothing similar about them. Nothing. Because they're on a whole completely different level of existence, and the whole mood of the activity is completely opposite of the material mood. So in order to get a correct, or at least understand, at least to a certain degree, the activities of the Lord, that's why the 10th canto was placed towards the end of the Bhagavatam and not at the beginning. And same with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, because he is the Bhagavatam personified. He is non-different than Srimad Bhagavatam because he is Krishna himself. But to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have to understand a little bit about who is he. Therefore, in the 7th chapter, it gives a little. This book doesn't go up to the 7th; only goes to the 6th. Okay. It explains Panchatattva Makam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhakti-Kyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam. So the Lord is considered to be incarnation, and then there is expansion, and then there is the Bhakta Avatar, which is Advaita. And then Bhakti Shakti, and that is Gadadhar. And Bhakti Kyam, the devotee, and that is Srivas. So this is the different manifestations of the Absolute Truth in 5 different features of that same Absolute Truth. This sounds a little technical, and you might find it a little boring, but it's actually interesting because it helps us to understand what is the nature of the Supreme Lord and how he exists within his spiritual essence. Therefore, we describe these things as a foundation for understanding his activities. Because it's mentioned here that there are 5 aspects to the Absolute Truth. Sometimes we say God is one, but in one particular lecture by Srila Prabhupada, he said God is 5, not one. He was kind of defeating the Mayavadi philosophy that God is one, and that we're all God, and we're all manifestated of that one Supreme Lord. But Prabhupada said, no, actually he's not only one, he's 5. He comes in different features of himself, and they're all of the same absolute nature. So there's no real difference between any of the 5 there in spiritual essence. Although, for the sake of function, they play different roles in that spiritual essence in order to carry out the affairs of the spiritual world. It's almost like, it's easy to explain, just like if you have a president, you have the vice president, and you have the ministers, and you have the different cabinet members and military personnel. So Krishna has his entourage also, but they're all expansions of himself. So in that one sense, he is not different from him, but at the same time, he is also different. So that oneness and different is understood in relationship to the nature of how to approach the absolute truth. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is he? Don't worry about that. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not, he is Krishna, but he's more than Krishna. Can you actually understand that? How can anything be more than Krishna? He's not called avatar. That means one who descends. The word avatar means one who comes down. He is avatari, which means the source of all of the avatars. Why? Because he is Radharani and Krishna in one form. Radha and Krishna are 2, but actually they started off, we can't say that way. They actually, the essence is that they are one, but at the same time different for the sake of manifesting leelas, or personality exchanges, or lila. In other words, loving exchanges between the Lord and his internal energy, which is the pleasure potency manifested as Srimati Radharani. So why did Sri Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself, why did he come in that form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He did everything when he came as Krishna in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Krishna explains, and then Bhagavatam is there. All the knowledge is there. So what was the purpose of Mahaprabhu's appearance? That's why he's called Namo Mahavadanaya Krishna Prema Padayate. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namadi Gauda Tristedama. His purpose is mercy. His purpose is magnanimity. His purpose is to break out all of the rules and regulations and throw them out. If you can actually achieve perfection simply by following this simple process. Now, why did he do that? Because when he came as Krishna, what did he do? Sarva dharma pradikshijam mammikam saranam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayashyami masida. Surrender to me. That's the first principle. Surrender. Before you go anywhere, you got to surrender. That's the first step. And he said, abandon all your ideas on how you can make advancement spiritually. That's what he means, abandon all varieties of religion. That's the meaning of it. Don't think you can do it. You can't. If you surrender to me, take shelter to me, I will guide you, and then you will reach perfection through my guidance. So that's what Krishna said. But people didn't like that. Oh, he's too tough. He's making it hard. You know, this is Kali Yuga. We're not so qualified. So what are we going to do? He wants complete surrender. I'll give him something. So that was so the Lord actually reflected on that, and he thought, I made it too hard. They're not they can't do it. And they won't do it. And so I have to make it easier. So he comes as himself in the form of his own devotee to show personally how he should be worshipped. And it's so easy. Prabhupada said Krishna consciousness is simple, but not easy. So those two words seem to be similar in one sense. It's simple. Chant Hare Krishna. Any questions? It's that simple. And when you feel happy, move that torso in different directions. Dance. And when you get hungry, take some prasadam, not too much, and then get up and chant again, and dance again. And then when you get hungry, more prasad. That gives you more energy. Get up, dance again, chant again. Keep doing that. You're back to Godhead. No problem. In other words, he gave the process so easy, so sublime, so anyone can, even Prabhupada, even a child could do it. So that's Mahaprabhu. He's so kind. And what is that chanting? It's a glorification of Krishna's names. So why did he manifest that in a very complicated way? In other words, why did he have to appear in so many different, in his form, in order, and also bring a complete entourage in order to inspire that? He could have did it by empowering some personality, some great soul coming from his personal entourage in the spiritual world to do that. But he wanted to demonstrate himself, to show, not only to teach, but to show that here's how you do it. In other words, Prabhupada says when the when the teacher takes the position of the student and teaches the student how to do the lessons given by the teacher, that's the best teaching. Why? Because the teacher knows what the student should be doing. So if he takes the position of a student and shows you from that position how to worship the teacher or how to follow the teacher's instruction, that's the perfect example. That's Mahaprabhu. So he's showing by his own personal example. So he came to taste his own sweetness in the form of his own position as Srimati Radharani. So therefore he manifests himself in that way. But he comes for different reasons. Why did he come when he came? Of course, that is the different reasons. It's mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that there are 6 reasons why he comes, 3 internal and 3 external. We'll get to those in the 4th chapter of this particular section here. Okay, it says here. It says here. Okay. Okay, I have given the essential meaning of the 4th verse. This incarnation descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. Although this is true, this is but the external reason for the Lord's incarnation. Please hear one other reason, the confidential reasons for the Lord's appearance. Translation: the scriptures proclaim that Lord Krishna personally descended to take away the burden of the earth. He says that in Bhagavad Gita, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhutanam dadharmasya tadatvanham srijami aham pavitranayam sadunam vanasanaya chaduskritam dharma samstarpanartaryam sambhavami yuge yuge. He comes for 3 reasons. He manifests that way. Krishna, it's mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. He comes to destroy irreligion in the form of the demons. He kills the demons. He reestablishes religious principles when religious principles go so far down. And he gives pleasure to his devotees by his appearance, so his devotees can associate with him and worship him in his personal form. So that is an external reason. But it says here, to take away this burden, however, is not the work of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So although he says he comes, Lord Vishnu is the one who protects the universe. But the time to lift the burden of the world mixed with the time for Lord's incarnations was simultaneous. When the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead descends, all other incarnations of the Lord meet together within him. So that's why in Lord Chaitanya, all of the manifestations of all of the incarnations are personally present. Therefore, Lord Vishnu is present in the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to kill the demonic mentality, not to kill the demons. The demons were killed when Vishnu appeared within the body of Lord Krishna in that incarnation. And it says here, the killing